Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome to you and welcome listeners.
Yep.
A win. Huzzah.
A win in the league.
A win in the league. Wasn't it wonderful? Wasn't it splendid?
It was good.
Well, just nice to win, I suppose, is what I mean.
I see. Yeah, that was splendid, yeah.
It's
also
carry on.
very good to be back out there, wasn't it?
It was out there.
Full St James Park. Well, full, quite full. Actually, really good. Was 747 something?
Yeah, I think so.
Not bad.
With about 8 from Scunthorpe, who I believe were on a protest, or the coaches got cancelled because they couldn't pay for them, or something.
Yeah, I feel
so bad for those fans.
And fair enough, those ones who made it all the way down there. That's some commitment, isn't it?
It's some
You've got
commitment.
to admire that.
You're going to get beaten. You're probably going to get relegated. You've had to drive yourself. There's no option of a coach.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
You still turn up.
Still turn up.
Fair play to you.
2-0 to City, though.
Yes.
The sun was very low.
I did not think to bring sunglasses to this one.
I'm going to claim I was the only person with sunglasses in the whole city.
It might be right there. Which is stupid, really, because we've had a lot of the old Tisdale sun this winter, haven't we?
Oh, we have, yeah. Forgot that he's trademarked that.
Which is lovely for, if you're going about your business.
You know, the Tisdale sun is widely believed. If you didn't know what it was, what's this phenomenon? You think there's 2 suns in the sky. Not true. It's the winter sun bouncing off his bulb bonds.
Well, I was just picturing, the sun out of the Teletubbies.
Oh, yeah.
With the baby in it.
Oh, yeah, but Tisdale.
I'm just picturing, like his face in the sun, exactly like that.
Yeah, and he's talking about proper chaps.
Yeah, looking down on, I don't know, who's Tinky Winky? Dan Seaborn.
Sure. Anyway, Tisdale wasn't there, but the
Perryman.
son was. He sent his son.
Perryman's Poe.
Yeah, right. Sent his son in his stead. It was not a very good first half, was it, City?
No, not particularly, although we didn't look in any danger. I mean, you're playing against some very kind of impotent players,
Well, as we said last week, if Ryan Loft gets promoted out of your team...
Yeah, what does that say about the rest of them?
What does it say about the rest of them?
Yeah, they weren't up to much, so we didn't really need to be.
That's true, certainly during the first half.
So let's look at the team that started.
Let's.
Pretty good. I think injuries aside and ones we know about, all those ones, that's probably nearly as strong as you're going to get. George Ray on the bench, he obviously had COVID, right?
COVID,
so he's coming back.
And of course Sam Stubbs and Diabate have kind of not overtaken him, but
shuffled him out. They stepped up. They stepped up when needed, and a couple of clean sheets now as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
And what can you do? They look really good.
Well,
and also I think you're really benefiting from those two, from them actually having time out there playing together.
Yeah,
developing a kind of like partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sort of 3-way partnership, really, isn't it? With the other centre back, whoever that may be, Sweeney in this case.
Yep.
And you can't just bring that in, have it do well, drop it back out again, and expect to be able to use it again in future. With it's just kind of, you need to kind of foster that kind of relationship.
We said, didn't we, at the beginning of the season, we were if Stubbs came back, we'd have a solid base of centre backs, and actually we didn't include Diabate in that. Group at the time.
No.
Obviously, Hartridge still out injured. That's right, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but I think he maybe isn't too far away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a mighty bunch, isn't it?
It is, but as good as they all were, we were leaking a lot of goals, and to a certain extent, we still are. Portsmouth last week,
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of clean sheets in the league, and it looked good, didn't it? Like I said, against not exactly the strongest opposition, but you need that, don't you? I mean, for if Sam Stubbs is building back from, not playing for a year, he needs time on the pitch, and this is only going to help. Even if it's like a boxer, you don't just chuck him in straight into the heavyweight title fight. You stick him up against a few kind of like people they can beat first, to build them up, get them some ring time.
I've always wondered about that. What's in it? I guess it's just cash. What's in it for the person who knows they're going to get thumped in the face a lot?
Yeah, cash, I guess.
How much cash would you take?
Cold, hard cash.
You know, what would it take for someone to thump you in the face with a boxing glove on?
Who are we talking about here?
I mean, not Tyson.
Right.
You know, just a person. Somebody fancies himself as a boxer.
With the boxing glove on?
Yeah.
One punch as hard as they can. Don't really happen like that in boxing, though, do they? I don't stand there.
You're allowed to block it.
Oh, right, okay.
But, you know,
Oh, I'm not that much.
The thing's over once they punch you in the face. Or you punch them in the face.
You're asking me how much it costs for me to do a boxing match?
I suppose I am, yeah.
I don't know. Low 3 figures?
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Fair enough. If anyone wants to...
I'm skinned.
We're starting a crowdfunder.
I'm skinned and I'm a tough cookie.
Well, good. You're going to need to be. So, yeah, I mean, they were bad, weren't they? But we weren't very dynamic at all first half.
Well,
quite
I
a lot
mean...
of mistakes, weren't there?
A bit of that. I just don't think we were getting really... Yeah, we were a bit sloppy. We didn't get the midfield combos going,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
So you got Brown in there, you got Jay in there, you got Collins.
Mm.
You need that link up with them two and then the wing backs, you know?
Mm.
And that wasn't quite there. We were just trying to hit the wings, and it was kind of working a bit, but not too well. And we got a few kind of set pieces we didn't do much with first half. Well, bear in mind, this is first start, by the way, for straight in there for Zanzala. And I thought he kind of did his job, even in the first half, very well. I mean, he's up against their centre-backs, and they were just, you know...
grabbing him any way they could.
They were grabbing all over, and I think the ref was bad.
Oh, the ref was bad,
as we're very used to at this point. No worse than any other League 2 refs, really.
I wonder if he was worse. But carry on.
They're all terrible. But, so it looked like... And especially through an Exeter City lens, which I'm, usually wearing, that the guys have just got pulling him down the entire time. Now, it might be that there's an element of he's backing into them too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and then it gives the refs going like, well, it's 6 or 1, half a dozen than the other. But so that may be the case. There looked like a few where he could have given them to me, though. You really could tell they had their arms around him. But he did that job pretty well, even when we weren't getting much going.
Yeah.
And I put that more down to the midfield than anything he was doing. I thought long balls or high balls up to him, he dealt with really well. And, yeah.
No, I agree.
We'll come on to it, but it was a majestic
He looked energetic,
debut.
he looked strong, he looked keen.
Yeah. Well, it looked like if you're going to kind of try and replace... if you want someone who's going to be able to step into a system that's already in place, built around a certain player, then that's the sort, he's basically the same kind of player, really, isn't he? That's Nombe,
Yeah. No, he is, but I thought he did it with some energy, really. I thought it was good to see.
Yeah.
Caprice didn't have his best game, certainly first half. I thought, it's that thing about you can't seem to pass it close to him,
Yeah.
But anyway, second half, so it was 0-0 half time, wasn't it?
0-0 at half time. No one's worried, are we, at this point? The worst you're worried about is like, this is going to finish 0-0.
I was slightly worried the ref might do something mad.
Well, that's definitely, that was real.
What I found really strange about that ref, which isn't a normal complaint really, he took a really long time for anything to be allowed to start again, free kicks, corners, whatever. But then he didn't add on any time in the first half, and then he added on 6 or 7 minutes in the second half. Completely bizarre. Yeah,
well, that's part of the thing, isn't it, really? That's why you get so frustrated with some of these refs. It's just the level of inconsistency.
That's the problem.
And, because the thing you're always worried about, what I'm worried about, is that they don't give some obvious decision.
Yeah.
Or they do. So they make some decision which is kind of like, wrong or contentious.
Yeah.
And then... they obviously kind of realise that because the crowd are going mad at them, or they're
fair enough,
or it's at least in their mind that they might have not done it, and then they just kind of you end up kind of the crowd gets in the ref's head or something. You know what I mean? And you can just tell he's going to make a mad call in a minute.
Yeah.
And then they not to try and level it up, but not necessarily in favour of the team you've wronged. It's just sort of when there's one, I'll act. I'll go the other way on it,
Yeah.
It didn't happen, so it's fine. But it wasn't really. It wasn't consistent, and it was a bit annoying, wasn't it?
Really was. Second half, City came out and they much better immediately. much better.
Yeah.
Straight away, balls into the box, shots on target. I don't think we had a shot on target first half.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, no, I don't think we did we?
Lots of pressure from Josh Key. Collins was far forward. Dieng looked, as good as you expect from him.
Yeah, Caprice actually loads better getting down there, and then we had there's a lot of there's a lot of times where he kind of like beat his man on that down that left hand side and kind of like made it into the box. Yeah. So he's come inside and he's beat his man. So he had the kind of option of like, right, who can I lay this off to? Didn't quite work out any of those times, and he will sometimes. Like Jake Caprice obviously is really like he's scored one goal and now he thinks like, oh, I can just shoot from anywhere. Like, and sometimes it's like, oh, come on, mate, you're not going to score from that angle. Like even like you wouldn't want like a kind of like prolific goal scorer to take that shot on from there, let alone you 1 goal in 400 appearances.
No.
So
that's not the choice.
Whether there isn't much else on or not, try that. even if that's unlikely, try that first. Anyway.
But he did look better. Aside from those things, he looked better. Zanzala was making really good runs. Brown was everywhere, wasn't he? And so was Jay, actually. Yeah,
second half, Matt Jay was much better. I don't think he did too much, like we said in the first half. Didn't get involved enough. But yeah, they were both great. And, Giovanni Brown, like one of his days, wasn't it? He just playing really well, great movement. Like just getting in, like, taking up those right positions. We saw a lot more of the kind of those triangles that we need and that they're so good at. You know what I mean, like combining with Key and Collins and whoever. And then
we scored. Giovanni Brown, beaut.
It really was a good goal.
Keeper doesn't move, does not move.
It looks so good when it happens, doesn't it?
Absolutely in the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, but curled in too.
Beautiful.
So he picks up the ball on the sort of right hand of the, penalty area, right of the D or whatever, and then you can just, it kind of happens in slow motion when you're watching it, and you're like, you can see the space to his left, and you think he's not going to go to his left where you can see and then he just kind of swivels and absolutely does the man that's kind of there, and he's just got the goal to aim at, and then he just kind of curls it, and it's so, it needed to be kind of perfect really. But it looks so good, but the keeper just stood there looking at it, and it's like, what a goal! And I obviously we were behind the goal on the big bank, and it looked brilliant from there. And you're like, when you watch the highlights back, you're thinking like, I wonder if this is as good as I remembered it being. And you're like, oh, it's better. It's actually,
I think
it's actually even better.
It goes up and down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like one of those curling shots where it's like it's going wide and it curls back in. Yeah. Yeah, what a goal. Is that only his second goal?
Oh, he's not scored many. I couldn't put a number on it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And of course the game was won at that point. They kind of had 5 minutes of trying to get it forward, didn't they? And
well, I mean, essentially we kind of, the whole game we restricted them to long shots.
Yeah.
Which is, fine.
Yeah.
And we dealt with anything, those balls into the box, which there weren't many of, do you mean? And if you're not even going to do that to us, then,
I fear one of their shots hit one of their 25 supporters clean in the chops.
No, you can see it back on the interview. It does, and it hits him in another. Looks like another sensitive area, but it's all right.
Yikes.
The only thing I'd say that was a bit not worrying, but and it can just happen, I suppose, whatever. But it was first half, especially George Ray's kind of Ashley Bayes-esque kicking.
You mean Cameron Dawson?
Who did I say? George Ray. Sorry, Cameron Dawson. Yeah,
it was funny that. He's not been like that at all.
No, it's like several, absolute spoons.
Any thoughts on that?
Because
he really hasn't, has he? Done anything like that?
His kicking's been good.
Yeah.
No thoughts on it really, apart from it. I thought,
No, one was particularly bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then he sort of tried to. It looked like he was sort of shouting at someone. It's like there's nothing to say here.
Unless maybe he's hurt his right foot and they knew they were supposed to get it to his left.
No, this wasn't a pass back. This was like,
wasn't it?
a free kick or a goal kick,
Well,
Anyway, it was fine. Clean sheet for Cam. So
lovely.
And also, he didn't have a save to make in the whole game.
So then the second goal.
But besides that, though, just quickly on him,
go on.
him throwing it out is something we've missed over the years. Through the Christy Pym era, etc. I can't remember who was after that. Lewis Ward, Johnny
really.
Maxted, whatever. Just like the quick, and it's a sign of like a keeper is, kind of like at least in theory better than League Two level.
Yeah.
Do you mean so? And he just kind of, the way he throws it out quickly with purpose, accurately to the fullbacks. It's such a valuable thing in football, especially if you play with wing backs like that, where they just bomb on down the wing.
Yeah.
It's just like you're literally just starting it's like kind of like it's an attacking pass by doing that,
Yeah.
which is so much better than just hoofing it up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's fine too, and you can't. The pass isn't always on, the throw to the wing back's not always on, but it's just like that's a real like kind of like it's a good thing to have that.
Matt Taylor was interested in his post-match interview because he said, I thought the first half was good, and I think maybe I was the only person here that thought that. And he kind of, and he said, I don't just mean the supporters, I mean the team as well. They didn't feel like they'd done very well. And I suppose we forget, actually, this is some very inexperienced players. Like, I know now they've done Josh Key and Archie Collins, and, they've done 2.5 seasons, but they're still very young, aren't they? Very young.
There's a lot of young players in there, yeah.
So that was interesting because, quite often we've said, haven't we, if only they would start better.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the first 15 minutes don't go well for them, it gets to them a bit, perhaps. And it didn't really feel like that this Saturday because Scunthorpe were not really threatening. But there's definitely been other times, haven't there, where we've noticed they'll do 15 minutes good. That's a good sentence there. But there's been a good starting 15 minutes from City. And then if the goal doesn't come, there's a bit of...
Yeah.
And I think...
Well, I think it's a mentality thing in it as well.
Yeah.
When they we've seen them be sloppy in first halves quite a lot, where they're kind of like... They'll just keep playing bad short passes, which they're capable of doing better at.
And that's weird, isn't it? Like, you make one, like everyone makes a mistake. There's the one bad pass. The mentality you want is, well, that's not... The next one's going to be my best pass ever.
Yeah.
And we don't always necessarily see that. And I think Matt Taylor was kind of hinting at that. And then the second goal...
Yeah.
...was for our debutante. The debutante ball.
Yeah. And the debutante ball came from...
Well, I missed it. Took my daughter to the loo.
Oh, well, let me regale you
Please
with...
do. I just knew it would happen. We both knew as soon as we set off.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it was 0-0 at half-time and you're thinking, okay, well, there's debut goal in front of the big bank then, as it should be. An underutilised weapon, I'd say, started this little phase of play, which is the Sweeney whipped-in ball from deep.
Yes.
TM.
Yes.
And he's so good at it.
He is.
I mean, I don't know if we use it enough. Maybe we're just not in the position to, and probably...
Well, him as centre-back, I suppose, means...
Yeah, and maybe it'd be later on in games when you're pushing up a bit more, and maybe most of the time the better thing to do is just give the ball to Josh Key and let him run down the line. Mm. But when it comes in, and when he gets it right, which is more often than not, I'd say, like, he doesn't play a lot of bad passes, Sweeney, and like we know he's good. We know he's a good passer, and but yeah, lovely, absolute beauty. Like, whips it in. Josh Key flicks the header on. He's unlucky not to score. It's like a good save from the keeper, but all he can do is just palm it straight into the path of Zanzala. Tapping, lovely little tapping. That's what you want on your debut, isn't it? An absolute gift like that.
He looked delighted.
Yeah,
as you would.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when you've come from you've just made you had a kind of transfer to a new team at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be you're the striker. It doesn't work out for you there. Mark Cooper said he's lost his confidence or whatever. I mean, pretty good way to help you build your confidence, isn't it? One, to be like, okay, you're back in, you're starting a team that's, in a better position than Barrow, a better team than Barrow.
By better position, do you not mean the end of the road to hell?
I mean, I meant in the league, but geographically, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he's come from Barrow, do you know what I mean? And he's come down here and he's gone like, well, this is quite nice.
You score in front of the big bank. They all say it, don't they? They've kind of learnt from Nombe. That's what I want to do. I want to score in front of the big bank. Brilliant. Love it. Think up at Barrow, no one's saying, I want to score in front of that weird warehouse we get changed in.
Yeah.
Are they?
I want to score in front of that pile of shipping containers.
Yeah. I just love to see the way they react.
Yeah.
No,
I love doing a knee slide right in front of it. It's sort of like,
the backdrop of that photo is either 150 kids who've all run down the stairs, or it's some old boy who's in charge of fetching the ball when it goes into the North Sea. So yeah, love it. I love it for him.
Yeah, me too.
That was great. Taylor obviously wanted that to happen because he took him off almost straight away after. Amon came on 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is just me making shit up, really, but well, maybe it's true. It just looks like Amon is like really encouraging of all the young strikers. You know what I mean? And like even then, you could kind of see the exchange between the two of them, and like I think maybe it was on some of the kind of like video stuff. It's just like it just seems like he's really like getting behind and these are people that are taking his place in the side, really. Do you know what I mean? And he's just like. So it looks like you got this like nice character who's also like, had a good old long career at this level and higher and scored goals, and like he's got valuable kind of like, information he can pass on and knowledge and wisdom to these younger players. And it's just like, not everyone would do that. You look at like someone like Ruben Reid. Fair enough, it wasn't exactly the same position, but he just had a sulk when he got replaced by Jaden Stockley. He never played again.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a good distinction to draw. Hey, way in the future, obviously the City model is promote from within. We're not going to have Matt Taylor forever, one way or another. I'd love to see someone like Amon come in and join the team and join the coaching team and build up from there. Because you're right, he's really made an impression on me as a person that encourages and is supportive and,
Yeah.
I mean, there's talk, isn't there? This will be his last season.
Right.
I'd love to
if he
give
suddenly
him the kind of Scott Brown role again.
If he were to, I mean, who knows?
He's not our player yet, of course.
Yeah, and who knows what he wants to do or anything,
I could see him being a manager, though, based on what I've seen.
If that was something that happened and he just joined the coaching stuff or something, I think I'd be right behind that.
So that was that, 2-0. Very nice.
That was that. 2-0 win. Pretty good. So we beat them 4-0 away, didn't we, as well, early in the season? So they're probably going to go down. They're not a good side. You'd expect that, but off the back of our kind of December, and then us getting better but not winning, that's what we wanted to see. That's what we saw.
Very nice. We'll talk about the league and what's coming up next in a second. Welcome back. We're talking about Exeter City, of course. We're talking about League 2, of course. You can get in touch with us in all the normal ways. We're on Twitter @BigBankPod. We're on email, bigbankpod@gmail.com, and you can find us on Facebook as well, the Big Bank Theory podcast. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Yes, Dan.
There's a new feature now in the Spotify app to leave a rating out of 5 stars.
Oh, is there?
I don't know what it does, but it can only be good, can't it? If you listen on Spotify, you haven't got to write anything. You just choose how many stars you'd like to award us. I've done it.
Have you?
And I decided to rate it 5 stars out of 5.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't let that lead you, but we'd encourage you to do something.
I don't know if people...
Something between 4 and 6 stars probably is fair.
I think that's about right. Okay. I don't know who listens to this on what, but if you do listen to it on Spotify, give it a rating, please. Thank you.
We'd appreciate that. Talking of ratings, by the way, this is all out the window by the time you've listened to this nearly, because there's some League 2 games tonight.
Yeah, including ones up our neck of the woods.
But I suppose what's worth saying is City currently sitting 8th on 24 games with 37 points. And at the moment, I won't bother with the rest of the details, 3rd place, that's the last of the automatics, that's Northampton currently, same amount of games, they're 4 points ahead of us on 41. So... like we all hate the playoffs, don't we, Exeter City supporters? That's where we want to be aiming, and that is absolutely within our sight.
Yeah, we need to, like, the direction of travel needs to, keep going in this way.
Yeah, it does.
The way we played over the last few matches. We won't go the rest of the season without losing, I wouldn't have thought. But,
Well, we certainly want to...
We've got a lot of work to do now. Do you mean we haven't bought ourselves any...
No, we bought ourselves nothing.
Like, in the way that we were kind of like... We were never quite level pegging with Forest Green, were we? But, like we've said, over the last few years, we've been
similar kind of like. We've ended up in similar places to them, and they have bought themselves a bit of credit,
They have.
They're playing tonight they're one of the ties on tonight against Mansfield.
Okay.
And that is a spicy old tie because two teams very much in form.
I had a spicy
I'm not
tie
suggesting
once,
not suggesting you watch it, but
it's gave me all sorts of neck problems. So I guess in terms of playing staff at the moment, that's at the moment we're in credit for that. Zanzala's come in. We've lost Awara Edwards. He's gone back to Bristol City, and since he's gone out on loan to Colchester United.
Oh, has he? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Right, what's that about then?
Oh, game time, I'm assuming. Bristol City wanted him to have more game time.
We weren't playing him enough.
We weren't playing him enough. Colchester, they're not. I think they're in the bottom 3, aren't they? They're definitely down there. So.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, they really have fallen from grace, given that they were our playoff rivals a couple of seasons ago. Anyway, that's by the by. So Edwards has gone. Everyone else is currently still with us. That's Dawson and Amond, and now Zanzala, the other loanee. Some of our loanees have come and gone. Jordan Dyer's been out and back. Jack Veal's gone out again to Tivy, I think.
Jordan Dyer's gone back out again as well. Back to Bath.
Back out again.
Bath? I think so.
Yeah, Bath. Josh Key, currently still an Exeter City player.
Yeah.
Matt J, currently still an Exeter City player.
18th of January. So
Taylor said that a substantial offer had come in for one of our significant players, but it was nowhere near enough.
Okay.
So I guess if we're to do the maths, there's only 3 or 4 people that could be.
Yeah.
Brown, Dieng, Nombe, or Key or J, I would guess. And they're not accepting that. So
no
news is good news currently.
You've got this thing that happens every year where you kind of just like, clinging on a bit.
Yeah.
And we're over halfway and we haven't lost anyone yet.
And we've turned something down.
But that means someone's interested.
That does mean someone's interested.
And we brought somebody in. Will it be the last one? Who knows?
Do we replace Edwards? I don't know if we do.
Well, I think we've brought in Zanzala, and I know that's not in the same position.
Yeah.
We have... Josh Coley is like...
He's the obvious one, isn't he?
Yeah. So maybe it just means more game time for him. I wouldn't mind if we brought somebody else in as well, like another option like that. But I don't know. I don't see it being like a massive problem if we don't replace Edwards. It's a shame about him. I think he looked like somebody who's got, a decent amount of promise. Didn't do a lot, did he really? If you think about it, when he was here, a couple of decent performances, glimpses of like what looked like might turn into a good player, but nothing kind of. I don't know. Wasn't that convinced, really.
No, same. I don't think he'll go and play for Bristol City anytime soon.
Well, wouldn't thought he was anywhere near ready. Didn't mean to do that. No,
but he was playing, wasn't he?
He had played for them.
For them, yeah. Anyway, there we are. It's the old waiting game, isn't it? On the injury bed, is that what it is? Injury sanatorium.
Injury bed.
The injury hospital. Wherever that is, whatever that is. Nombe's still there, although he's out training, and Hartridge not currently featuring.
No, but they said something about him, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they said he's close.
Yeah.
So we're not that far away from full strength, actually.
No, is there anyone else out? Oh, Asangana.
Oh, yeah, Nige.
Yeah.
Question for you. How do they know when Atangana's injured? Because, what's the difference?
It's a bit harsh. He's been quite good this season.
I do like it. Yeah, no, he has, but he's never got the look of a fully fit man, has he?
No, not really. It depends how you frame it. Sometimes we say he's languid.
Yes.
Other times we say looks like a man who's never fit.
Yes. A man whose wellies got stuck in the mud. Talking of wellies, you see Matt J up on Holden Hill on his Instagram?
No.
He spent a lot of time on Holden Hill on Sunday morning.
What's he up to up there?
But he's got a dog. He's got a little pug thing.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Any of the other City players got dogs?
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Sweeney seemed like a man who'd have a dog, but
is it conducive to professional, being a professional footballer to have a dog? Is that good? Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, you get a lot of time off.
Yeah, you got a lot of time at home, like every day. You got enough time to take it for a walk.
I suppose it's hard when it's the long weekend, but if you've got a partner or if you've got a willing dad or just a, kid that you can pay to walk him, It's probably all right.
You can't bring dogs to St James Park, can you?
No. Never seen a dog there.
No.
Is that true? Have I never seen a dog at the football?
Well, you get a guide dog, would you, maybe?
Yeah, I get a guide dog.
You never get a dog on the pitch anymore, do you?
No. It's because of these full, complete stadiums, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
but
hard
we
enough
could...
to get a human in the Atletico Madrid
There's
one, let alone a
absolutely
dog.
nothing stopping a cat running onto the St James Park pitch.
Cats are more, cautious.
No, the cat will run on the pitch. Happens, doesn't it?
I've never seen a cat run on a football pitch.
Haven't you?
Have you?
Yeah, loads. There was one a couple of years ago.
At City or somewhere
No,
else?
not. It was in the Premier League, I
A
think.
cat on the pitch?
Yeah, there was one of the keepers had to pick it up. It definitely happens. It used to happen all the time.
Well,
But at the St James Road end, when the big red doors are, where they let the away fans out,
yeah, get a cat through there.
a cat go underneath that, no problem, or over the top. They're very nimble.
Talking of the St James Road end, big news. The long-awaited for scoreboard. The foundations are being dug.
I thought we were going to do a full feature on this. We haven't even talked about Walsall yet.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Well,
we'll do this first now when we come to it.
Well, they've started digging the foundations.
Yeah, there's some lovely footage of a wet saw in action, which is,
Yeah.
appeals to my kind of primal, those sort of things which are just satisfying to see.
Yeah, okay.
A wet saw being one of those. Carving through concrete, no problem.
Yeah. So...
No problem at all.
March, they're saying.
Some people
Yeah.
would be, using their platform, like we have, to angle for hospitality or for, other things like that.
Yeah.
I would like to see. It's unlikely we get invited now. We've sort of mocked this entire process for weeks. But if there's any more
Months
kind of,
now, it's been months.
if there's any more, I'd actually quite like to watch some of the foundations be
I mean, they're literally
done.
doing it on Wells Street, so you can just walk up there and have a look.
No, but some of it's behind the fence, isn't it?
You'd hear it. Go outside and hear.
I
What
don't
have you
just
been
want to
doing
listen
today?
to
I've
it.
been listening to them sawing the concrete.
I don't want to listen to it. That's offensive.
All right. You want to see it?
Yeah,
All right.
wouldn't mind.
Well, let's see. March, they're saying. Let's not forget this was due in September. But there we are. Blame other factors.
Yeah.
Talking of concrete structures that no one wants to visit, except us, Warsaw's coming up.
Yes.
The Bescott.
Away at the Bescott.
Now, I suspected this was true, and you've ratified. We haven't beaten Walsall in ages.
No, I think I looked it up, 2012, in League One.
In League One.
Yeah.
Last time we beat them.
I think that was at St James Park as well.
Oh, was it?
No, maybe not.
I remember
anyway,
a Nardiallo goal at the Bescott.
Right.
Anyway.
So it's 5... The last 5 games, we've drawn 4, lost 1.
So
That's home and away. But
So the bookies are saying a draw, presumably.
yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I wouldn't like that. But they're 15th, Walsall. Of course, they're managed by the other Matt Taylor. He's called himself Matthew to differentiate.
That was big news back along, wasn't it? And we drew that game 2-2 at St James Park as one of the 2-2 series.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Since Archbishop Desmond Tutu's passed, no football match is now allowed to end at 2-2.
Quite right, too. R.I.P.
Yeah.
The GOAT. R.I.P. to the GOAT.
He was the GOAT. But, they're sitting 15th. They're not going anywhere. It's a reasonably good away. We'll take a lot of people 2.5 hours up the road. Come on, City. I really want 3 points here. I really want a Zanzala hat-trick. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Well, this is a bit more of a test, isn't it? Scunthorpe at home's, it's a kind of, like we said, it's an easy... It's your kind of... I don't know what they call those guys in boxing, but with that analogy I made earlier, it's that.
Yeah.
A ringer.
It's the
presumably.
warm-up match. Yeah, the ringer, yeah.
So this one's a bit more kind of like it's a bit more of a real test.
Yep.
It's away from home. It's against a side who aren't terrible.
Yep.
We've drawn with them already, like we said, so we didn't manage to beat them at home. Come on, City. Let's have a Zanzala goal or two, like you said.
We'll take several hundred, won't we? We usually take kind of, in advance of 500 up there.
I would have thought so, yeah.
Might be even pushing the 1,000. I'd just love to end January with a good run, because it's Hartlepool the week after, isn't it? And I think they sit lower than Walsall, 17th or something.
Yeah.
So this is the time, isn't it, where we're going to either watch the autos disappear out of sight and maybe scrape into the bottom of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or put ourselves right back in contention.
Yeah.
We need it to happen.
This is where it needs to start, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, it is. It is. Matt Taylor will be saying that to him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see Nombe on the bench or anything like that, but we've got a good enough squad. We've got a good enough squad with everyone that was fit last week.
I'd say so, yeah, for sure. And we just need good performance from we don't need anything. Nothing major needs to happen. No drastic
big
changes.
No, that's right.
Dieng's in there with Collins. I think it's so important to the way we play is having them to working alongside each other and providing the team with options and getting the play started. I think it's kind of starts with them.
And of course, we want to see the three at the back with the two wing backs. We've said that before. We've made that very clear. I think
at this point, I'd be very surprised if we suddenly change to a kind of more defensive version of what we've been doing. I think you just go, no, we're in a good run here. Walsall aren't some team we need to be worried about. It's not like if we were playing against, not Forest Green, but I can't think who it would be.
Yeah, Tranmere maybe.
Tranmere, something like that. Or maybe one of the teams that are kind of Swindon or something like that, Newport, a team that kind of a more physical side than us. Walsall aren't really like that. They're a bit more of a kind of football-y kind of side too. We should go there. And
we're looking for the early goal and then we're looking for the follow-up goal, aren't we? We want the pressure to be right on the thing.
I'm not convinced we'll get the early goal, but
Well, with Exeter City, you never quite know what's going to happen. Like I said, because February's frantic now. Have you seen with all the rearranged? February and March, there's a lot of games.
Yeah, there's a couple of... they're back in that... Swindon one's back in now, in it, and...
Harrogate, I think.
The Harrogate one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Tuesday nights at night matches, isn't there?
Yep.
That's all well and good. But not easy. Only making things harder, in it,
Yeah,
but
it really is.
That's what's important to get a bit of momentum going. And, I think we got some.
Yeah, I think we're currently in a situation where we've got some momentum, aren't we?
Give you a boost, doesn't it? Bringing a new player in and him scoring on his debut. I don't just mean the fans, but the team too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's hope we can use that.
I know we said it last week, but he seems like such a nice lad, and I'm sure that helps as well.
Yeah, let's harness that feeling.
Oh, let's ride that feeling to the bank.
Yeah, let's surf that sensation.
Let's zip wire that, wellness.
Zip wire.
I don't know. It's not really an adjective. It's a verb.
Talking about zip line, those things.
Yeah, what's a zip wire?
Probably the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a kind of Americanism?
Maybe.
Zip line. Do you see much of that going on? The kids still doing that? You're a man with.
Yeah.
You're with child.
No, it's just the pie I had for lunch. Yeah, I tell you where people do it. Up Matt J's favourite place, Go Ape on Holden Hill.
Oh, I've been to Go
So
Ape. I've been ape. I went ape.
You've been ape recently, mate?
I went there for my mum's, I want to say 60th birthday.
Okay.
It was raining.
Yeah.
It was still good.
I'm sure.
Still fun, even in the weather.
What do they call it? Picture it in your mind. Right, what you want to do now, mate, you put this clip on.
They used to call it high wires, didn't they?
High wires, yeah, right.
Yeah, you're all kind of harnessed in, and then you kind of just got sort of zip wire and between the zip line, between these, and some of them are this ain't Creeley.
No, okay.
This is
it's hardcore.
This is a long way, across a big significant area of woodland,
Yeah.
And you're and then you kind of crash land at the other end. It's a good laugh. I'd recommend it.
Okay.
You can also do a bit. I don't know. I'm doing a
Plug.
Advert for Holden Forest adventure activities. You can also do segwaying up there, which I haven't done and wouldn't do.
No, I don't.
One of those things in it where, along with those e-scooters, where I bet that's fun, but it looks stupid.
Segway's way worse than an e-scooter for looking daft, isn't it? Everyone I've ever seen on a Segway looks embarrassed.
Yeah, it doesn't look cool.
Unless you're that guy. Do you know what that was the thing? I don't know. I've never been to America, but it seems to be a thing where businessmen take them around.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know what that's.
When
Does
people-
that actually happen? I don't think that
When
happens.
people work on like a campus, because that's what they call it, isn't it? Like when you work for Google and they're like, "Oh, this is our Google campus."
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
then there's always men with a shirt and tie on taking a segue from like HR over to property.
Yeah. Why not take the Segway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could walk, but I've got to be there in 3. And then Al from across the office says,
I'd like to see what
"Hey, brother, you should take the Segway."
you can't. It's a one man. It's solo, isn't it? You can't give someone a backy on a Segway.
Surely that would throw the balance out the door.
Well, surely the balance is up to you, isn't it? You just have to readjust for the weight.
Don't know. There's got to be a weight limit though.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
And Al in HR is well over that weight limit.
Well, yeah. I don't want to pass judgment on Americans, but Al sounds like a big fatty to me.
Well, anyway, on that note, this has been the Big Bang Theory podcast. We'll be back next week. There's no midweek next week, is there? So we'll do another one after the Bescott.
Yep.
And we'll see you then. Hopefully, the midweek games that we're not playing in will have done us a few favours.
I mean, I'm over that at this point.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm just like already. I've got to the point where I don't care what anyone else is up to. We just
I
need
didn't
to
even
win.
look on. I feel the same because I didn't even look on Saturday till we were 2-0 up, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's some other games happening."
Yeah.
Well, there'll be other games happening this week too, listeners. But all we care about is the mighty, mighty Grecians.
Yeah.
My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.